I made an update to this auxiliary fence that I showed you how to build in a previous video. I'm Ron Paulk and this is the Smart Wood Shop. If you want to get a detailed set of plans to build a smart wood shop, smart bench, there is a link in the description of this video. This is an auxiliary fence that I made a couple of years ago. Showed you how to make it. I'll put that video right here somewhere. I started with one design and it worked really well. I made it for the SawStop JobSite Pro, a larger saw with a bigger fence. It wouldn't work on my other DeWalt that I had at the time. It was a smaller saw, closer to the size of the CTS. So I came up with a simpler design that worked for both saws and actually worked better. Simply two boards, 18mm sub fence, this shop made T-track. This is the same T-track that I use on my router tables and on the miter extension. So it's pretty typical. And this allows me to put in feather boards or hold downs. And then I added this back piece of 18mm and it was glued on and some dados cut in it. And this was just to attach it to any table saw. I added a third piece. Again, another piece to 18mm. It's ripped to 3.5 inches wide and 12 inches long. So with my table saw hanging off of the Smart Station, I have all of the outfeed that I need. I don't need it any longer. It doesn't matter how long the rip is I'm doing. It's on the infeed side that it starts to make a difference. Now with a small piece, it's pretty easy to get it flat on the table and fed through, kept tight to the fence. The issue can come when you're ripping stuff a bit longer and even a bit longer and wider. I don't use a table saw for breaking down plywood or doing really wide stuff. It's the wrong tool for that. The track saw is the proper tool to do that. But I do take material even 8 feet long that I might rip down with the track saw to 18 inches wide, and then if I want 3.5 or 4 inch rips, then I'll run that piece through, and it's much faster than trying to do all of that with the track saw. Right tool for the right job. On the infeed side, really any table saw, a little one like this or even a big shop saw, we're limited to about 1 foot on the infeed side. With the material being longer, it's a lot easier to have it tip down and also get away from the fence. And that's where this additional piece comes in. Just like before, I'll attach it to the saw. And now it's set up. It's given me that auxiliary fence that I need in a lot of situations where I want to cut closer to the blade, or where I want to have hold downs, or whether I'm running a piece that's vertical. This has a lot of uses. This extra piece doesn't get in my way for any operation, but it gives me that extra support for the infeed side. It automatically registers to the top of the table saw because the auxiliary fence itself is down tight to it, and this is attached to the bottom. So there's no adjustment. It's pretty much automatic. Now when I go to feed in something longer, that tipping point is way back here now. So I'm way in front of the blade, and even if it's a long 8-foot piece, it's a lot easier to keep it flat. If you've already got yourself an auxiliary fence, go ahead and throw a piece on. Just screw it on without gluing it or anything. Give it a test out and see what you think. When I have time, there is one change I'm going to make to this. The auxiliary fence that I have is 36 inches, and this is about 1 foot. I'm thinking that I'm going to make another one that's 4 feet or 48 inches so I can come a little bit further in front of the saw and maybe even run the infeed out a few more inches. If you enjoy these woodshop tips, then be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you won't miss any of the videos that we put up here at the Smart Wood Shop. And if you could, share this channel with somebody you care about. Thanks for hanging out with me today in my Smart Wood Shop. You stay safe and have a great day.